Everyone's like, oh, look, here comes Pensy Joe bringing the Pennsylvania stuff because really test the LED in the headlight, but we'll take this quite well by all. Regular combination, she's all that Sheet at 10. Proceed to 15. Hey everybody, this is Pensy Joe back again. And today we're going to be doing not a DCC install, we're going to be doing an upgrade for my J1a Paragon 3 TCS WOW equipped Broadway Limited Imports steam engine here. I finally got a Keep Alive decoder for this, and I'm going to upgrade the lighting for the tender for this locomotive. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add marker lights to the tender over here, just like I did the marker light additions for my I1SAs. So now it'll have more extra functions going on as I give the locomotive a Keep Alive as well. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing that I want to address before we get started, I'm going to open up the locomotive and rewire where the grounding wire is going to go. Since the only lighting function inside the locomotive is the headlight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose either pin 4 or pin 6 to be my new grounding wire. I don't want to hardwire the tether to the locomotive, as there's not enough gappage for the wires to go through the hole of where the plug would go in and not have an issue. So the simple, short-term fix is to just rewire where the ground for the headlight is going to go from the locomotive JST plug board through this cord and then through the decoder. So I'm going to resolder some of that, and I'm not going to really use this wire anymore, unfortunately. But that's the first thing I'm going to do before I do the upgrade for the capacitor part and with the new drill holes, so that I can put the new marker lights in the rear of the tender. Alrighty, so now that we got the tender open, I'm not going to replace this part right here. I already got the wires hooked up right here for the speakers. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to splice these wires here. Splice the wires off of the kit right here with the Keep Alive 3. I'm going to splice the black and white wire and the light blue wire off, and I'm going to reattach it to here. But before I do that, I'm going to get a resistor, and what I'm going to do with that is put these two wires together, the two blue wires together, go into the decoder and one go into the Keep Alive, splice them together, and then I'm going to have them soldered to the resistor, these resistors right here. And then those resistors, what they're going to do, one of those resistors is going to go from there to the rear lighting for the marker lights in the rear. And then with that, I'm going to have it ground into one of these right here. I'm probably going to use the green wire, which is function 1, since it's the only other function I can really... I mean, there's other wires and colors I can use, but I'm going to use the green wire function 1 as the ground for the marker lights. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the holes for the marker lights right here inside the tender. And for the locomotive, I didn't show me resoldering, because if you want to see, just refer to the original J1 hardwiring video. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna mill out the holes for the tender, and then we're gonna start putting the LEDs together, and I'm gonna splice the wire and then show you, the results of what I'm gonna do with the resistor and the new Keep Alive in the back. Okay, so as you can see, got the resistor in the middle right here. Both sides go into the decoder and the Keep Alive. We're on one side, so the Keep Alive has an effect. And over here we got the power that goes to the marker lights that I put in there. It's kind of dark in there. I use dark tape. Put dark tape around the LED first, so that no light would escape sideways or anywhere around, only forwards. Same thing on both sides. And then I put a cover so that it would stay in the corner and not bleed into the rear headlight. if the locomotive and rear headlights lights were on the same at the same time with the marker lights. So without further ado, I'm going to tape everything back down, put everything back in place so it's nice and neat in here. I'm going to put the shell back on, and then we're going to go down to the basement, and then we're going to test the locomotive and see how much of an effect and change it has been, and pull a train around while we're at it. Alright, so now we're back on the layout. The locomotive runs so much smoother. With to keep alive, if there's any dirty fluids or dirt, whatever gets picked up on the track, it'll just keep going. And that's a track cleaning car behind this locomotive, so we'll be all good to go when we run around the layout. Just for a little bit with the freight train I have behind. You'll see how long it is once we do the little bit of a running session with the locomotive. And as you can see over here, marker lights are both on. It's just that I gotta reposition the other one. Maybe the shell did something with it, but as you can see, the marker lights do work. It's just that one has the bulb position in a better position than the other one right now, so I'll have to fix that later. But without further ado, let's give the locomotive a nice run. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this TCS, DCC. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this yet, but I guess when I make the title for this video, I'll let you know. Actually, you know what? This is going to be a DCC upgrade video. Probably the first one. It's not going to be too much of these kind of videos, unless for some reason I have to resort to buying, non keep alive models again, or like, kits as well. So yeah, it's something different, something small, something for me to do, and something I wanted to do for a while now, and I finally done it after over a year, almost 2 years probably now. So yeah, this is Pensy Joe signing out again, and I'll see you guys in the next video down the line. Bye now.